Let's go on to the low performing look. All right, here it is. So this is the low performing. Let me take a moment to look at everything, because now this is going to be a raw moment because we don't look at top selling. I wanted to give you guys something very much so different compared to the professionals edition, because I feel like it's very important that retailers need to look at the top and the lowest selling so that you guys can get your return on investment. There's definitely a different approach that you guys need to take when it comes to positioning and selling yourself. So when it comes to the low performing look, it is a very structured and exaggerated type of suit. Love the color. The color is great, but at first glance, the look communicates very structured, discipline, and unconventional tailoring. I don't know what woman would want to make her shoulders this much bigger and wider when you are going in for a cinch waist. I mean, in editorials, yes, but an everyday type of woman, again, I have professionals, those are my other targets, they're not going to want to do this. When you talk to an everyday type of woman, I've never heard a woman say that they want their shoulders to be this exaggerated. So this automatically just draws a lot of attention. The tailoring is beautifully done. The coloring is beautiful. As far as the skirt, I love the skirt. The bag is right on par, as well as the shoes. It's the shoulders that really draw in that attention, that I want to say unflattering attention in my opinion, that kind of just takes away this very architectural type of silhouette. That is great for magazines. It's great for performative. That's what I like to categorize it. You guys are not my clients. You guys are not in my office. So I categorize things as performative or situational, but this right here is very, very performative dressing. It's performative fashion. You would see these things on like celebrities if they're doing performances, or they are sitting down on a broadcast, and anything of that type of artistic where they need to be the spotlight. That is where it's at. The sharply structured shoulders and the elongated. The torso is not so bad, but it's the shoulders for me that are very, just so much so structured and big. That is the branding at first glance. If I were to redefine this, I would take in if you are known for exaggerated stuff, like this is who you are, you take traditional type of styles and you pick an area that exaggerates it, then that is what you do. But again, this didn't perform very well. The color is not outside the norm. Nothing else is outside the norm except for the shoulders. And this is why it's not doing very well. Yeah, this look just reads more editorial than shoppable in most cases. Maybe the skirts is more shoppable, but when they look at the shoulders and say, who would wear that? They're not going to look at, most of the time they're not going to look at the rest of it. The neutral gray palette, the minimal styling and restricted, and she has no accessories. It creates a look that feels very high end and concept driven. Again, I label this as performative type of fashion, and that's not really going to be high shoppable when it comes to your everyday type of person. So let's go into the next one. How this styling captures customers. When we analyze why a look underperforms on Pinterest, we ask a key question: does the viewer see themselves wearing this? And off the bat, no. I don't know what woman will want to really exaggerate her shoulders like a man. This kind of gives like a muscular man type of shoulders, and women don't want that a lot of the times. But the tailoring, the high collar, that's a preference type of thing, is okay. The color is great, it's fabulous, but the structured shoulders is a very visual, strong statement, and it kind of just gives a manly type of silhouette that does not exude well on a woman, because women like to be soft most of the time, and that's not a shoppable approach. For direct-to-consumer retailers, the platform performs best when styling feels achievable, adaptable, and just relatable. Again, I label this performative because one of the reasons, because it's just not relatable. It's not something that you would wear on an everyday basis. That is why I categorize that. And if you are listening to this, you should definitely take note. All right, let's go on to the next one. Branding or moments. Does this take away or add from your identity? This is where the distinction between brand identity and moment-based styling becomes important. If a brand's identity is rooted as avant-garde tailoring, architecture silhouettes, or luxury editorial storytelling, this look absolutely reinforces that narrative. But for many direct-to-consumer fashion brands, especially those using Pinterest to drive product discovery or conversions, this styling may feel very disconnected from the broader brand message. The outfit becomes more of a fashion statement for the moment than a brand building tool for you. And on a discovery platform like Pinterest, clarity of brand story of a brand story is what ultimately drives engagement. All right, I hope you guys are taking notes. As someone who uses Pinterest a lot, whether it's with my team, whether it's for me personally, or with me consulting with my clients, and you guys have seen a glimpse of my analytics, which is mainly organic. I'm trying to help you guys and give you guys some tool on what is working and what is not working. And lastly, the verdict, which is my styling and branding moves. My final takeaway on this look comes down to presentation strategy. As far as styling, it's not all about, what you have in the background and how much creative it is. The tailoring itself is exceptional. It is magnificent. It is chef's kiss. But the silhouette is, the silhouette, the shoulders is not it. It's not it. It's very reminiscent of a male's physique, and women don't identify with that. That's not our natural build. Yes, we have shoulder pads and stuff like that, but it does not sculpt or bulk up that proportion that much. If someone were to have, busty breasts, to not only have busty breasts, but you also just have these exaggerated shoulders, it's just not a flattering type of physique. And it's just not striking. So that is why the Pinterest performance is not doing well on our platform. For Pinterest performance, the styling would benefit from contextual storytelling. For example, introducing a softer styling elements, showing the pieces in a real world environment, or pairing it with a more approachable accessory. These shifts help bridge the gap between high fashion design and consumer imagination. For direct-to-consumer retailers, the goal is always to style products in a way that allows the customer to see the brand and see themselves in the brand at the same time, not capture the moment. I say this again, don't chase the moment, be the moment. And that balance is what ultimately drives Pinterest engagement and brand growth. If you're planning your next marketing campaign or product story, I encourage you to follow MIIEN Consultancy on Pinterest. It's where we continuously share curated outfit inspiration, styling ideas, and visual direction that can help inform your next creative project or merchandising strategy. If you're ready to move beyond inspiration and want a more personalized approach to how your products are presented to customers, you can apply for our personalized fashion services, which are styling, merchandising, and creative direction. At MIIEN Consultancy, we work with direct-to-consumer fashion retailers to help define their fashion identity and strengthen how their products connect with the people they're trying to reach. We'd also love to hear from you. What were your thoughts on today's top performing look and the low performing look? If your brand was featured on our Pinterest stage, what would you do differently in your styling or presentation? Start the conversation in the comments. These discussions are where great ideas begin. And finally, we are welcoming fashion retailers and fashion-related partners for our editorial features. If you're interested in being considered, you'll find the link in the description with more information. Serious inquiries only. Until next time, continue observing what captures attention, because the way your products are styled and presented always shapes how customers experience your brand. We'll see you in the next Pinterest Outfit Report.